LW Auto Head here. What's up, people? I have a video for you guys today, and the video is about replacing a fuel pump. And I'm in a 2003 Hyundai Santa Fe. I'm sure I made a video with this car before. This is actually a car that I own. School that I go to, DCC stands for Delaware County Community College for the auto program, the automotive program. And that's why I'm making you guys videos, because I know some things about cars, a thing or two. I can teach you guys a thing or two about fixing cars. I learned some things from going through classes at the school. So I'm teaching you guys as much as I know, and hopefully you guys can teach me to whatever that I don't get correctly. You guys can comment in the comment below, in the box below, or whatever you guys suggest or think need to know, just comment. Yeah, so I'm in the rear seat, driver rear seat of the car. That's where the fuel pump is located. Here we go. Yeah, driver rear seat of the car. That's where the fuel pump is located. And I went ahead and saved some time with the video by taking out some screws out of the way. There's a couple of screws that I had to take out in order to reveal the fuel pump down here. So the reason why I'm replacing the fuel pump is because I have a no start, no crank, no start problem with this car. I think from the symptoms, I think it's the fuel pump, because before the problem started, I would go to the gas station, filled up, and it would take me like 3 to 4 tries to get the car running. I would start it at first, and then it would start like crank, and then it would shut off. Start it again, crank, shut off. So I had to do that like 3 or 4 times in order for the for the car to stay running. And sometimes I even had to prime the fuel pump, which means cycling the key off on, or you can say off and start position, and then after you do that, and then start the car, and then that should help the fuel be able to pump up and start the car. It just makes sure that there's fuel running throughout the whole lines and the fuel injectors and stuff, especially on the old fuel pump or a new fuel pump. You should prime the fuel pump by doing that, if it's having a tough time starting. So I used to do that to get the car started, but finally it just, even though I tried doing that, it just stopped starting. So I went ahead, bought a new fuel pump, and then I'm doing it. And this is the new fuel pump right here. Yeah, and it looks exactly like this from the top so far. I guess that's enough to make sure they both are the same. But whenever you buy a part, just make sure it's the same by making sure they're identical, they look the same. So this one has the 3 points that the connectors go to, just like this one, and it has this section right here with 3 with actually 5 terminals, but 3 at the top, 2 at the bottom, just like this one. 3 at the top, 2, and they look identical. So you gotta make sure you do that. So that's that's what I'm gonna do now, is replace this. But basically, so how I got here where I'm at now to the fuel pump was that this seat was like this. The seat cushion was there regularly, but this is the passenger side, but it's the same as the driver's side. But I'm gonna explain it using this side as an example. So basically it was like this, and all I did was pull this string, and then I revealed the top, the cover right here, the hard cover right here, and that's the hard cover right here. And these screws, 6 screws were on this hard cover. 6 screws had to come out from this hard top, and then there was a primary cover, first cover. After I revealed that, after I took this out, actually there was a mat that I had to just pull away, and the mat was already, I guess maybe somebody cut it or it came like that, was already pre-cut out. So all I had to do was just pull it out, and then I revealed this top right here. So once I reveal this top has 4 screws. These are just 4 screws. I used the screwdriver. So I did that, took out this one, and then for this second cap right here, the fuel pump cap right here. For the second one, I had screws that you could use a screwdriver on, or you could use a socket on. I guess I'm gonna call it nut screws or whatever, or I don't know, socket screws, whatever you want to call it. If you know the exact name, comment down in the video, and you know, teach me too, because I'm trying to teach you guys how to do things. You guys should teach me some things. Might not get everything right in all my videos, so I need some suggestions, recommendations, and some, you know, ideas and stuff. Yeah, these screws had to come out, 6 of them. I went ahead, instead of using a screwdriver, I used a socket, 8mm socket right here. An 8mm socket, it's the same as a 5/16 socket, right? Basically, that's what I did. I used a socket to take out the screws on instead of the screwdriver, because these are really rusted. If you use a screwdriver, even one that's like a socket screwdriver, a screw, if you use it, you end up stripping these, and it's going to be super hard to take them out, because they were really hard on there. They're really hard, tight on the cover, so it's going to be really hard to take them out. So I went ahead and just used a socket instead on this, because there's both socket and a screwdriver. You could use either one to take it out. Anyway, so that's what I did, and that's how I'm here so far. And I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver to try to get the second cap off, because even though I took out those 6 screws, it's not going to just come out with me using my hand. So I have to use a flathead screwdriver in order to pry it out, and then pull out the fuel pump and replace it. So that's where I'm at right now. I wanted to save some time, that's why I just went ahead and did that before starting the video. Anyways, I also went ahead and disconnected these connectors. So with this connector, all you have to do is press on this tab right here and then pull it out. And these are the fuel line connectors. They have 2 tops on each side, like this one here, one there. Press them really hard and then pull it out. And there's 3 of them, so they're all 3 the same way. You pull them out like that. So basically, that's what I did, guys. All right, guys, here we are. So I had to use this flathead screwdriver on this side right here. Let me see if I can show you guys clearer. But anyways, I had to go like this and pry the cap off, this retainer cap that's on the top of the fuel pump. So I had to pry it up just like this on this side towards the back, and then it came out. Now I could use my hand and pull it out. It's like my Volkswagen, because I've done it on my Volkswagen before. This is the second car I'm doing it on. Anyways, my Volkswagen, it has a top where you have to take a flathead screwdriver and with a hammer and then hit the top around or it's a screw on top, so you have to hit it, of course, reverse to unscrew it with a flathead screwdriver, because it's pretty tight on there. So that's what you have to do with that. But this one, I guess, after you take out the screws, driver, and then pry the cap like that. Now you could use your hand to take it out all the way, because you already give yourself enough space. So that's how that is. And if you find that it's still hard to come out even with your hand, you can keep using the flathead screwdriver in order to take it out. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my hand and try to take it out. I'm probably gonna need 2 of my hand anyways, so stay tuned. All right, guys, so it's actually 8 screws. So if you was to count this cover, it's the same one that's right there. So it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 right here, 6 7, and then 8, so 7 8, so 7 8. Anyways, it's 8 of them. Now this cap can just pull out. So now this cap is out. I don't know why they got a new replacement with the new fuel pump. I don't know, but I'll put it there. Anyways, so here's the fuel pump. I can just pull it out now because all the screws is out, so I can just funnel with it. Pretty much pull it out with the sending unit. You gotta chop. Oh, by the way, yeah, so this is the filter. That's the filter. This is the sending unit, just to be clear. This is what tells you how full your fuel tank is from the gauge on the cluster right there. This part tells you like if you're halfway full, if you're quarter full, completely full. This tells you, and that's the filter. So this unit has everything built in. The Volkswagen has a filter outside of it, but that's a whole nother video anyways. So I'm just gonna funnel with this and try to take this out. That's pretty much all you do, is funnel with it and try to take it out, and then you could just drop the new one in and put everything back the same way you took it out. You put it back the exact same way. All right guys, so I took it out, and that's the fuel tank right there. See the fuel right in there, and this is it. This is the old one. There's a way to test whether this is bad or not, is by checking it with a pressure gauge or with a pressure tester from the inside of the engine, from the engine side. But that's a whole nother video. I just figured because of the reasons that I needed to replace this, that's why I'm replacing it. But there's a more thorough way of testing that this is actually not working anymore before you replace it. So yeah, I'm replacing it because I know about that symptom. And another way, if you're trying to get it to work, if it does go out, is by hitting the fuel tank from underneath the car. Hitting it and then trying to start the car, somebody hitting it and then somebody else trying to start the car, and then it might work that way in the meantime until you can have money to buy a replacement. Because for some cars, they're not cheap. I think this was probably $48 because this car is old, 2003. But for some cars it might cost 100 or 200, who knows. But this is it right here guys. So replacing it, it's not that easy. When you have all this stuff, you got to get out the way. It is easy once you get here, but when you have all this things you got to get out the way, it's not that easy. Especially you want to be careful you don't strip the screws, especially if it's haven't been changed forever and most of the screws are rusted. You want to be careful you don't strip them, because if you do, you're gonna have a hard time. It's gonna be a lot more time consuming anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna replace this with the new one, and then that should be it. I won't show you guys how I'm gonna put it back, because like I said, it's the same way you put it back, same way you took it out. You just have to remember how you take it out, and that's how you put it back. Yeah, so saves you a bunch of money instead of going I know some of you guys want to see my face, so here's my face anyways. So instead of going to shops and they might charge you 500 600 to replace your fuel pump, this is with parts and labor, I believe. But like I said, I bought the new one for like 48 or maybe 50 or 60 bucks. I can't remember exactly, it's been a long time. I've been pushing this job off for the longest ever because I've had other things that I had to do. But anyways, so yeah, when you do it yourself, you save yourself around 300 or maybe, who knows, 400 bucks. It's not that hard. Now there is cars where you might have to drop the fuel pump. I think some Fords, SUVs, some SUVs, especially SUVs, you might have to drop the fuel tank in order to take out the fuel pump. In that case, you're gonna need to take, you could do it, but in that case you might, if you're not that good with automotive, because I'm making these videos mostly for do-it-yourselfers, people that want to do it yourself and save yourself money. But if you're not confident enough, you could just take it to the shop. It's gonna cost you a lot of money, but hey, what the heck, right? At least it'll get done right. You will save yourself a lot of headache. Because if you have to drop the fuel tank, believe me, it's gonna be a tough job and it's gonna be a long ass job. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Till next time, that's it. LW out of here. I'm out, people. See y'all next time.